Hey guys, how's it going? It is Ando, and we are here with a video that you guys have been requesting for a really long time, and a video that I've wanted to give to you guys for a really long time. But I told you guys that I wanted to wait till 3v3 was official, and we waited all those weeks and it never came around. But we finally got news that it is coming, so I want to make sure that I give you guys this video. So during this video, what we'll talk about first is, especially because we had a lot of new guys asking, what's the difference between 3v3, or why does everyone seem to like it or hate it. So we'll talk about what you can do to prepare yourself for it, especially if it's your first time. And then the next thing that we'll talk about is some of the squad compositions that I'm looking at doing as well. So, and some of that have had some really good success for me. So hopefully you guys can maybe take some of those and mold them as you guys see fit. But if you guys are liking these videos, please leave that like and subscribe. Comment down below on what you guys are going to be using this round for 3v3, and or if any teams look interesting to you and you're going to be trying it out. So let's go ahead and get into the video, guys. Alright guys, so I'm going to get right into this because I already did a cut of this and it was like 20 minutes long. So we're going to try to just shorten some of these tips and stuff, and then we'll get into the squad comps, and I'll probably just highlight some of the ones that have done really well for me. Alright, so the first thing that you guys need to do, especially if you've never done a Grand Arena before, 3v3 style, is you need to go into your game and you need to select leader, and you need to go in here and look at all the leaders that you have. Understand that you want to get as many leaders as possible because you never know when you're going to need a new leader, because these are going to require a lot more squads than most of us are used to setting and attacking with. So some of the ones, especially earlier game, there was a lot more of all allies gain this and all allies gain that, or quite a bit. It was a lot broader of leadership. So for instance, last 3v3, I remember I used Sidious with Zalbar and Mission, and I don't have the Omega on there, but because Omegas, I know if you're starting out the game, or even if you're where I'm at, Omegas are very important. So you're still going to gain some critical chance and some crit damage. That's really good things for Mission to have, and a lot of characters to have. Same thing with Lando Calrissian. I've used him with the Zalbar Mission combo before as well, because they're both scoundrels, so they're gonna get this 15% or 15 speed, and I'm not sure why it's 29% crit damage, but I guess it's just too OP if they gave them that 1%. Yeah, look into that. Another good place to look into is bounty hunters. A lot of them have like some scoundrels or all allies. There's plenty of leaderships actually out there that apply to a very broad base, and so get those leaderships going. You never know when you're gonna need them. Alright, so that's the first tip. The second tip that I'm going to tell you guys about is tanks and how important they are in 3v3, and really just overall general squad comp. In a lot of 5v5 competitions, a lot of different characters bring different aspects into that team. You might have a couple of attackers, and you might have guys that kind of buff off of each other. You might have a leadership like Jedi Knight Revan, where the more Old Republic and Jedi allies he has, the more speed and damage and all those stats that he's going to give out through his leadership. So now you're going to cut a lot of that. So tanks in this game mode, especially the pre-taunting kind, especially the tanky ones, are going to be really hard for you to get through. Understand that a lot of times you're only going to have maybe one, maybe two attackers in your squad. So you just have to kind of you have to take that into consideration, because it's going to take you quite longer than what I think you're probably going to expect to get through some of these beefier tanks. And so it can really help when you're setting up your defensive teams to make sure you at least have a tank or someone that is able to maybe give out some heals. But yeah, especially those tanks that can get like Chirrut and Baze, where he can heal them up, he can cleanse them, and then who knows, the leadership maybe adds some more heals and some more regeneration and all that stuff is going to add up, guys. So that's the second thing, is definitely check out your squad comps. Be expecting that, you know, you're not going to get through some of these tanks as fast as you're going to think that you are. And then the third and final thing is that debuffs. You guys, debuffs are crazy in 3v3. It is insane. There are times where R2D2 with his counter chance, he's just out here stunning your entire 3v3, like, or your entire squad of 3. There's times where, you know, you've got an ability block and you really need to heal up, guys, or you need to revive or something like that. Turn meter reduction. Again, all this stuff is going to be huge. And so look for teams and characters that can give you that, especially on the defensive end, but also when you're attacking, understand that if you get stunned and it's your attacker, all of a sudden you're not going to be doing damage for a turn or two or whatever it is. So just be cognizant of that, guys. All right, so let's get into the squad comps, guys. Okay, again, I'm going to try to cut down on some of the talking that I've done, because I can see that, you know, I want to give you guys all these squads, but I understand that, you know, some of you guys aren't going to have them, but at least maybe it'll get the mind thinking in the right direction. So what I love about 3v3 is that it really highlights some of the leaderships that we haven't really seen a lot, and I think that's usually the ones that do the best for me. Everyone knows kind of what Jedi Knight Revan and Darth Revan and, you know, even some of the other guys, they know those leaderships. So I'll highlight the ones that have done really well. This Poggle lead one has actually done very, very solid. I would say having the Zeta definitely helps. And for those that don't know, because you probably have forgotten, but you're basically giving a bunch of offense up to all your Separatist allies. And then when droids are attacking out of turn or a target locked enemy, they're going to recover some health. Now, internally with Droideka, he has his own damage immunity and also some protection recovery. So now that he's going to be hitting someone that has target lock because of IG 100 on his basic, when he counterattacks, he's got this 70% chance to inflict target lock. You know, it's going to be really, really awesome, on top of the fact that Poggle can ability block someone. He can add offense up to someone as well. So hopefully, you know, AI plays it to Droideka. But yeah, there's just a lot to actually really like with this team, and I think a lot of people just see it and they're like, okay, it's fine, I don't even know what Poggle leadership does. So they just go in, they aren't expecting to just have Droideka build up his stacks and, you know, just one-shot one of the characters. Again, another leadership that's really, really cool in the 3v3 realm is Zam. Basically, you're just going to get a bunch of potency, and every time a thermal detonator is dealt, basically they're gonna recover some health and protection, and so you want to bring in guys that naturally have thermals, but Jango doesn't. But it also states that basically whenever they're using a special ability, that they can inflict a thermal detonator for 2 turns, and all that stuff is to say, like, if you've ever seen what thermal detonators can do and how it can rip away some banners, this team can be really, really tanky, and also even if you win, it might be a really low banner win. This one I've actually had of a 3v or a 5v5 comp for it, but this one 3v3 I think really shines. And so all you're doing is giving a bunch of speed and some tenacity to the rebels. But the big part about this is whenever they're using an ability that isn't an attack, that they're going to actually attack. Now, all of these guys have at least one ability where they're not attacking, so they're going to call to assist someone else. Hopefully it's R2-D2 or hopefully it's Princess Leia, because Admiral Ackbar doesn't deal much damage. However, you know, if it's R2-D2, he's going to stun someone. If it's Princess Leia, she has a chance of hitting 3 times, so she can actually deal out some pretty decent damage. And so you'll really see, like, this team, especially with R2 with his Zeta on there, he's adding some offense to him, he's adding some health, he's adding some, you know, a bunch of different stats to him, so it can actually be really, really tricky to win. I've had some really good experience with that. We haven't played around with this one yet, so I plan on doing that. I haven't played around too much with this one, but the basic premise is that, you know, there's some protection recovery here, and especially on crits. And so, and then they gain some rules based off of that. So it's more about just ripping banners on this team. This new team, basically Dooku's going to hide Newt and himself, and Sun Fact's going to be exposed. He's really tanky anyway, so that's fine. And then as soon as you get Extortion going, and then Count Dooku again with that stun and the shock and the ability blocks, you know, it's going to prevent them from paying their taxes. It's really, so it can be really, really tough. This one last time I didn't have, maybe I had a few relic levels on Kylo Ren, I'm not sure. But if you're looking at this and you're saying, oh, I don't have a Wat Tambor, it's okay. You can put regular Kylo Ren in here as well. But with Wat Tambor, he really transforms the team because he's able to put that tank tech. Wherever you put Wat, guys, make sure there's a tank, because he gives that tank tech out, and that's going to keep them with that that permanent taunt. And that's going to be the first tech that goes out. So we put it on Kylo Ren. He's giving a bunch of advantage then to Death Panda. And if you've ever seen Death Panda, once he gets going, it's insane. This is one, again, we didn't try last time, but basically Hux's leadership makes the First Order actually hit with their basics at a pretty good rate. He's got counter chance, and he's got a chance to call into assist. He's got a chance to double tap on his basics, so he's going to be dealing that double damage. There's a lot of synergy in there. But yeah, I'm excited for the First Order to see where they're at now with all these relics on them. And this was the king of last time, so I'm just going to let you guys know there also is a Daka lead on this, because her lead gives some health and also some defense. And it's kind of a cheesy team, but the premise behind it is basically, you know, you've got the taunt up by Zombie, but once Acolyte gets her first hit off, she should go under stealth. And when she goes under stealth, even after you kill Asajj and after you've killed Zombie 55 times, if you don't have strong AoE, you're not going to be able to kill her off. And so she'll just sit there, and a lot of teams will just either time out or they'll lose or whatever. And so the last time, the record that I had on this last time, I think the guy probably rage quit or something. He attacked this team 23 times. So you have to bring something with AoE on this one. But it's a very good team. And then last but not least, Bossk. This is another one of those teams where I was talking about, you know, on 5v5, there's a lot more mechanics in place, right? There's a lot more, especially with JTR, you know, there's more people that you can call in. There's more attackers dealing damage and stuns and stuff going around. I'm telling you right now, Bossk benefits from a 3v3. Just very hard to get through tanks in a 3v3. Especially if you have them built with a bunch of protection, especially these bounty hunters. So give Bossk lead definitely the best chances possible. Give him someone that can give a bunch of debuffs. You know, Boba's got that AoE that gives out some debuffs. Dengar's got those grenades. Those are all heals, and they're going to continue healing themselves up. So again, just giving you guys some ideas. Float some ideas our way. Join the Discord. The link will be down below. Let us know what you're thinking, you know, or ask us, you know, hey, is this going to work? Or here's what I'm thinking. You know, has anyone tried this before? We will gladly give you our, you know, our experience with it. That's what it's all about. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for coming out, and I will see you guys in the next one.